Yo, what's up? Back at it once again. It's a Koski of Fun Day. Kicking that stuff for you and for yours. And before I get into this, I can give a shout out to my ancestor, Robert Mugabe. I don't have a video on Mugabe, a real quick short tribute to him. Just in case you don't know, that ancestor passed away recently, today on September 2019. But this is from World War II in Africa, and this comes from African heritage. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk about the Thiaroye Massacre. Many people don't know there was many things because when the French got blitzkrieg by the Germans, a lot of these French colonies went to the Germans' hands. And yes, some people, black people, fought for Nazi Germany. But this is going to talk about something different. What happened to the Thiaroye Massacre? We're going to find out about it. We're going to crack into it. The great Senegalese filmmaker, Ousmane Sembene, made a movie about the Thiaroye Massacre, committed by French soldiers in Senegal. So this happened in Africa, okay? This was in Senegal during the night of 30 November to the 1st of December, 1944. The movie Captain Thiaroye was made in 1988. It took almost 20 years for a French president, Francois Hollande, in 2012 to acknowledge it. A massacre which occurred because of federal Senegalese actually given their pay they had been promised for service rendered, defending France and France against Hitler's Nazi forces. Those Senegalese men were killed by Frenchmen for asking to be paid after defending France with their lives. So this is a massacre committed by Allied forces against black people in Africa. Which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really talked about. We're going to go a little more in depth about that. All right, this here is from Al Jazeera. We're going a little more depth. A little known massacre in Senegal. It's been almost 70 years since French commanding officers turned their guns on their own soldiers, black Africans. It has almost been 70 years since French commanders turned their guns on their own soldiers. Those shooting were white and the victims were black. The French admitted 35 died, but war veterans say 300 black African soldiers were killed in an eating on November 30th, 1944. Known as the Senegal Senegalese, they were soldiers from Guinea, Mali, Senegal, Burkina Faso, Chad, Benin, Gabon, Ivory Coast, Central African Republic, and Togo. All were former prisoners of war freed from Nazi German camps and brought to the holding facility in Dara on the outskirts of the Senegalese capital of Dakar. The soldiers have been seeking equal pay with white soldiers and demanding their unpaid wages. At the time, the French commander saw this as mutiny, but for African war veterans, this was a call for justice. Let the truth be told. It took 62 years for France to finally offer them equal pensions, but veterans I spoke to say the money is not enough. They want the truth to be told. Only last year, the French president, Francois Hollande, officially recognized what he described as a bloody repression, offering the Senegalese photocopies of military archives dealing with the event, detailing the event. French authorities considered this gesture their official apology. Hollande admits African soldiers died at their reign, but also makes no mention of who killed them and why. Yet his address is well received by most African intellectuals. It's a welcome change from his predecessor, Nicolas Sarkozy, who, in an official visit to Dakar, said African man did not make his way into history, adding, "The problem with Africa is it lives on the nostalgia of paradise lost in childhood." Blacks and Arabs outnumber whites in the Free French Army. They thought up front and were considered marginalized up to the end. When the time came for victory parades, only whites were allowed. Not taught in school. There is no mention of the Thiaroye Massacre in French history books, and it certainly is not taught in school. In fact, I never heard of it until I came to Senegal. Growing up in France as a second-generation immigrant, The role of the French colonies in winning the war was barely mentioned in the curriculum. Aberdeen Brown, a Senegalese historian, believes this is intentional. It is a page of history we try to erase from collective memory, he says. There is not part racism and colonial mentality and where the African has no role to play in history. Ousmane Sembene, the Senegalese filmmaker, made a film about the Thiaroye Massacre in 1988. The film was banned in France for a decade. It was only made available on DVD in 2005. Surprisingly, Senegal censored this film too. Strong ties with France. The French continue to have a strong military and political ties with this former colony. Perhaps this explains why the film was censored and why the government has done little to support the veterans. But a new generation of French and Senegal leaders has started confronting this difficult past. In an unprecedented move, French authorities say they are going to have to organize an exhibition next year on a thyroid incident that will travel across the former French West African colonies. Until then, for those who don't remember, there is a military cemetery in Thyroid. The Senegalese army will not let us in to film it. The cemetery is kept unkept, and no one comes to visit. Underneath unmarked headstones are mass graves where the bodies of black African soldiers who fought to liberate France were dumped. The caretaker believes the cemetery to be haunted. He says soldier spirits won't rest in peace until their honor is restored. Now there you go. You know what I'm saying? What it talks about. So when they was fighting in this, we did it, like I said, doing a series on this, and most of the Free French Army was black and Arab. You know what I'm saying? From the colonies there, and they fought for France, for the Free French and for Vichy France. But when the Free French ones that fought on the side of the Allies want their money, they killed them. You know what I'm saying? This is really on both sides of the coin, too. I'm not saying it because the actions know better either. You know what I mean? But they really just killed these people right here. So they couldn't ask their money, and they covered it up. So don't even ask about it. You know what I mean? So this is what happens when you deal with the people on us. This also happened on the British side, too, with the African colonies. We got the British massacre, too, because it was no quarter for the black African soldier. No matter where you fought at, you from the United States, or you from the, French colonies and stuff like that, this would happen. I heard being from the United States, I heard many stories about how black soldiers got lynched in their World War II uniforms. You feel me? During this time period. So they gave no quarter for their democracy, which did not include us in it. And we got to take a real analytical look at history in that all these black and Arab soldiers, you know what I'm saying, came and saved France, basically Europe in general, Western Europe, from Nazi oppression. But when they got back and asked they just do, they killed them. And this right here led to the Pan-African movement of the 1945 Manchester and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Help started getting the let's get our colony, let's get out of colonialism, let's get free, things of that nature. You know what I mean? But it was incidents like these, massacres, not incidents, because these are plain out massacres like these that help kick the stuff off. Which you're going to find out in later videos about African history. So, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's a little known, talked about in history. Show brother some love. And also, too, man, donate to the movement, man. The Coast Gun and the Cash App. We doing big things, and I thank those for donating because we making stuff happen. You feel me? In the community. We're going to start showing that. Much love to you and yours. Peace.